Thank you guys very much for joining. So my name is Niko Kantouros, Director of Customer Success with Proformex. Have had the pleasure to work closely with the folks at MG&A for quite some time now, and excited to be able to talk to them today and learn a little bit more as to why they decided to utilize Proformex as a management software on their life insurance side, and just hear a little bit more of the details of some of the successes and wins. So appreciate guys you joining us today for a little feedback session.
Thank you, Niko.
Okay. Awesome. So let's get it started. Kevin, I know just give a little bit of background of the company and kind of the team that you have there, and then kind of what led to bring Proformex in as a solution for you guys.
I began in the industry in 1986. I came down to Florida in 1998 and began working with MG&A Wealth. And typically my background is mainly in brokerage, having worked at some of the major clearing firms in New York. When I came down, as far as insurance, we pretty much did annuities, variable annuities, and used those at the time. Our life insurance products were all farmed out to an outside source, and we really didn't function all that much with them or track them or really know. It was pretty much we took our clients, introduced them to an outside firm, and they ran with it. So since Andres and Corey had joined the firm with their background, they've really brought to the surface what we can actually do with insurance and annuities and tracking and what's going to happen. And that's a great boon to our business, another income source that we hadn't even got close to in the past. So I pretty much leave that up to them, make sure that they oversee them. I'm Vice President, Chief Operations Officer. They fill me in and I just watch them so they don't get in trouble. And that's as far as my value comes in.
Awesome. Appreciate that overview, and as far as what the guys do within the firm. Kevin, I guess from your exposure as COO, what do you see as far as Proformex? What do they present? And just can you give just a little highlights of at your view, right? Not being a day-to-day user, but seeing at the high level.
I see it mainly because we really didn't, the firm itself has been around for almost 40 years. So we have a lot of, legacy clients and things like that had all this insurance. In the past, whatever we knew was either we had it scanned in a dead file in our laser files. If a client was coming in and said, hey, what about my life insurance? We'd go searching. Scarlett has been searching our files and finding things that I don't think anyone knew about. What this does, and the other way we track things was on spreadsheets. So we had all the many spreadsheets, which our compliance officers don't like us spreading around because it's really not, it can't be confirmed that the information is accurate at the any time that we provide it. By moving into the Proformex, it actually lets us see what's available, what the clients have, and gives us an idea of with what they can do going forward. Most of our salespeople are licensed with the insurance, life, health, and life and health and annuities. So it's a possibility that we really didn't explore in the past. Yep. Now, when a client's coming in, we can get a good picture of it and see what's coming due and whatever they can do. Either they need more or they need less. That's going to be a tremendous asset.
Awesome. Appreciate you sharing that feedback, especially at your level, and being in the industry for so long, just to help identify how far along we've come by introducing the platform like Proformex. Andres, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at the firm.
All right, Niko. So basically, I started in Northwestern Mutual back in 2014, and it was great experience because I got to play at the agency level, at the practice levels with sales execution teams,
Yeah,
all the way from compliance. So it really opened me up to see like systems and saw the importance of systems. I mean, not to give, but when you're in a big company like that, that they have unlimited budgets for technology,
for
it's
sure.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
And
Uh,
homegrown kind of built to handle their own processes too. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So it's interesting because it gives you a perspective. Then once you go into the independent, so I joined MG&A in 2019. Same as Corey. Corey was like 2 weeks after I joined in.
Nice.
And it was part of when I was in the hiring process. A lot of the interest that they had was that on the background of insurance and the operations behind it. Obviously, we're a small shop to our client base, so we can't embark all the systems, but we can leverage. So part of the leverage has been obviously Proformex was a great find to the operations themselves, and then that translates into the organization for sales and the finding opportunities that normally we would just completely miss.
That's great, for sure. So on that thread, Kevin kind of touched on it a little bit, but prior to finding Proformex as that solution, what was some of the processes that you guys had in place for policy management? I guess, what did your day look like prior to utilizing Proformex?
It was actually a little wild, and still for a while, we didn't have that main focus unless it was a client that we specifically knew the what was involved or it was a big case. There is not an actual tracking system, like as opposed to like maybe having the spreadsheets or having like just a statement from a policy that they're just like giving a review, and then we just go off we have policy statements 8 years old.
Yeah.
That we're like, is this still
Valid? Yeah.
So that obviously it's that the Proformex has come in as a center to bring the reviews as to be more detailed. So we just had one big one with a client that he has, I mean, it's insane. He has like $10 million of life insurance across the board, and it's all $1-2 million policies. So it's different custodian, different carriers. It's kind of like, that would be the exemplary use that Proformex brings the value, because the client was like, this is great. Can you guys have the disability policies I have? That really pays off to have a summary, even though we're not agents on some of the policies most of the time,
Still
just
compiling.
Encompassing what the new times, everyone going independent, having a more holistic approach to the wealth management side, from having the life insurance, estate planning, and all that side taken care of.
Still talking prior to Proformex, like your biggest challenges, was it just compiling of that information? Could you share a little bit about like what you would deem as the biggest challenge or pain points?
Pinpoints would be, first of all, is just having a centralized system that would show everything, organize it. We tried adding it on the CRMs. It's not interactive. It's just a number and no one was seeing it. Yeah. And the report itself helps. People like to see pretty things. Clients like to see something and put our logo and disclosures, of course.
Yeah.
To include that. I don't want to get compliance chasing me down. It's just that the data gathering and putting it in a system that is interactive, because it also sends you notifications. We know how important time constraints are on contracts. So any features that have a deadline are starting to come up. We didn't know, like we would miss clients that, even though we're not the agent and we're fiduciary, but we're not the agent on the policy, then we would have clients be like, oh yeah, so this policy, I got this, I never converted it. And we're like,
whoops.
Yeah, and let me just interject one other thing there.
Yeah, please.
I think the worst part is when we were meeting with some of the legacy clients, although we didn't actually give them the insurance and sell the insurance, it was done with an outside firm. They would expect us to know about it because we directed them there way back when.
Yeah.
And so that's, you know, a habit moment where we have to say, okay, we'll get back to you. And that's not how we operate.
Yeah. Yeah. So overall client experience is better due to having visibility into the full portfolio, all the assets, regardless of when or who they were sold by. Definitely can see that being
Exactly.
beneficial.
No, and one of the things that since we're starting to write business now ourselves as agents, like that was one of my biggest, me and Corey were talking about, is like how we're going to track all this different, you know, policies we have.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to be Lincoln, whatever, and you have late notices, you have all this stuff, and this system is going to be primary to a lot of that for the review and keeping up with the billing, because now we're going to have to service
Those clients.
those
Yeah.
clients.
Policies. Yeah.
So it's just having it there, and as we continue to progress into dumping our own policies, which is a lot better, because I think with that we get the IFLs, we get updated values. It's just a lot simpler.
Yep. Gotcha. So actually, and just rolling right into kind of the next question that is going to help a lot of folks that watch this, I think, and just help understand the workflow and or how you've been able to implement Proformex into your new processes. What is, maybe not day in the life, but you know, whether it's taking a policy through review or some of the functionality that you leverage. What do you how have you implemented Proformex into like a routine at your firm now?
Well, I think the main point of the routine has been the reviews. So obviously, when you have 400 families, you're starting to go through the book. You can't data dump everyone in. It's just insane. You need an army. So on the reviews, on the day-to-day, it's basically Scarlett's doing a great job at, you know, team effort of just cleaning some of the files and asking us, hey guys, like we have this client has this policy. So we dig a little deeper. And even if it just means putting in Proformex and printing out a portfolio review for the review, and then get into the advisor. So when he sits down with a client, goes, you ask the question, you get the in. Hey, is this still in? Are you still paying for this? We're now starting to do it ourselves in-house. So it's the great opportunity just to take it over as, you know, agent of record or whatever.
Yeah.
Corey killed it on the scale of that too. Is just not only the opportunities is not just servicing or taking over the entire relationship, because you don't want another advisor, you know, trying to kick the tires. It's the review itself. It also review on biaticals. So that's another part of the opportunities that are coming across from this reviews. So we're getting policies of clients who are, you know, life expectancies coming close, and maybe there's no interest in paying premiums. So the value that we're finding has been incredibly important on our day-to-day reviews. We try to review clients. I think it's a minimum of twice a year. Yeah. So the logistics of it, the Proformex being able to get the file up there. Sometimes we have had big clients that have tremendous amounts of policies. The Proformex team has been very good at helping us onboard it, at least to get it started, because we're talking the ULs and all this stuff. It takes a little bit to that.
Yeah, for sure.
So on that daily review has been, it's the centerpiece of the insurance part for reviews.
That's great. Yeah.
And also on prospect clients. So like we just had a prospect client that had a couple of policies that like Prudential, one out of Northwestern and Mass Mutual, and we inputted it into the system, and then just came out with a nice review all down the line of the wife and the husband, and it really organized it well.
Yeah.
Great point. On the prospect side, right? Putting in, compiling, and winning that business is definitely something that is a highlight that not many people, I think, take advantage of yet, but I'm glad you guys have had some success, so we can try to push that out there and get that going as a use case for the platform. In working with you guys, I know there's been a handful of different success stories. Could you highlight maybe one or two examples of how you've been able either to win new business? I know you've already talked about, the portfolio use case, or just something that you were alerted to in Proformex that you were able to turn into a win for the firm.
Oh, it's been,
Yeah, for sure. So viatical sales alert. We inputted a policy and we signed in the next day. There's a viatical sale alert. So we clicked that and that led to a sale. It led to a sale, our first one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, with the attribute.
That's
No,
awesome.
That was huge.
Very
and that
cool.
was out of the nowhere. We were not expecting that revenue at all.
Yeah.
Flush sale.
Nor did we know that business.
Yeah. So it was
So
learning
good
experience.
ROI, unexpected good fortune, and I believe that was pretty quick after you guys onboarded, right? Or
Yeah, that was right when we onboarded.
yeah, so you got in visually, were able to see the data, take advantage of an alert that was brought to your attention, and then converted it for a good revenue generating opportunity.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Exactly.
sweet. I would like to say, for other customers, that's how we strive to get that kind of ROI that quick in the onboarding or process, but may take a little bit more time, but that's awesome that you guys had that experience. Super excited. As we're coming up on time here, definitely appreciate your guys' time, but what would you say you're looking forward to most with just either Proformex, looking out to other functionality that possibly we can add to it? I know recently we added in the annuity module that you guys are gonna leverage, but what maybe are some of the highlights that you're looking forward to most with the platform?
I think for me, on the scale of the team is first is the ease of how easy it is to use. The user interface is very gentle for the teams themselves. So it doesn't mean that only one person knows how to use the system or small teams. So the part of the interface, how it's progressing on the reviews, again, it's my bread and butter. I cannot say less of a system that encompasses everything that we need to get in. That's the most important part, because we're not experts at it, but at the same time, having a system that's constantly being updated or grabs information from the actual systems just lets us leverage the practice on the insurance side with a bigger fist.
Yep, that's awesome. Corey, anything else on your side? I know annuity modules, something you're probably looking forward
Yeah, so
to, but
like with the annuity modules, we haven't really looked at it, but
yeah,
maybe for our client reviews, we don't have to go in and manually and do it now. We can just go into the system and populate a report and then
Correct. Yeah, but the
that would be
annuity,
huge.
that would be huge, because the annuities, how we update them, it's not as, it's very time consuming, and
yeah,
just the scale of if it's bringing in the riders that the or living benefits that it has, all that little details, that information is super important for the client reviews, because we have clients that are like, why is this living benefit that I'm paying 2 points for? So it's very, we're looking forward to the annuity thing for sure.
And the clients that we do have in there that have payments coming due, we do alert them, and they've really been enjoying that.
that's awesome. Yeah, the reminders as far as
exactly.
upcoming premium payments for sure.
Yep. So we can go in every month on the first and see who payments due and then remind them.
Awesome. Cool. I think we hit on a lot of good stuff in a short amount of time, but appreciate you guys taking the time to just give us that feedback. We're super excited for the success you guys had and looking forward to getting a lot more here in the future.
Oh, thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you, Nico.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.